What's up, everybody? Justin here to do my final video for my Wrestlemania Rewind series of videos. Check them all out in the Wrestlemania Rewind playlist. So this first Wrestlemania Rewind is Wrestlemania 16. And then I'll do 17 and 18. So I'm not gonna cover after WrestleMania 18. I'm just not. If you want to hear me review the other WrestleManias, you can watch my year in wrestling videos from, I believe, part 1 or part 2 of 2003 is where I cover WrestleMania 19. So WrestleMania 16. A lot of times, a lot of people call it WrestleMania 2000. But it was WrestleMania 16, happened from Anaheim, California. The same arena that WrestleMania 12 was in. Same city, too. WrestleMania 16 happened on April 2nd, 2000. Some of these matches, there were a lot of tag team matches, a lot of them. Too many tag team matches. But I still enjoyed WrestleMania 16 for a couple matches. So up first we had the Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan. Bull Buchanan looks like he was dressed like Big Boss Man. He looked like his damn twin. They take on the team of The Godfather and D'Lo Brown, who were both dressed like pimps. Ice-T, the rapper, Ice-T, it was pretty cool. He rapped Godfather to the ring. So Bull Buchanan and Big Boss Man, I actually forgot this. They won. They actually defeated Godfather and D'Lo. Up next, we had Hardcore Holly. Now, this was entertaining. I enjoyed this match. It was a hardcore battle royal. Falls Count Anywhere. Or I don't know how it was a battle royal when they were like outside the ring and whatever. It was like Falls Count Anywhere for the hardcore title. Basically, they brawled outside. They went backstage. Came back to the ring. The hardcore title during this changed hands like probably 10 to 15 times. Anyways, at one point, Taz, I believe, was the hardcore champion during the match. Viscera was also. Viscera, formerly Mabel. Also, he was Big Daddy V. And God, I wish he would have wore a shirt over his chest, because Big Daddy V was disturbing to look at. The guy's chest. Guy had like D cups. But enough about Big Daddy V's tits. So anyways, I wanted Taz to win. He did. He won the title, but the match wasn't over yet. It was like a 10-minute or 15-minute time limit. And the clock was running down to 0. Whoever was a champion after the clock was at 0 stayed the champion. Hardcore Holly wins and is a hardcore champion. Test and Albert, TNA, with the debuting WrestleMania debut of Test, or not Test. His debut was WrestleMania 15. But the debut of Albert and Trish Stratus on WrestleMania. And the debut, I believe, of Steve Blackman, too, on WrestleMania. So Test and Albert, TNA. Yes, they were called TNA before the company TNA. So Test and Albert defeat Al Snow and Steve Blackman. And Al Snow and Steve Blackman, they're pretty good as a team. Their name was Head Cheese. That's pretty funny. I still remember that. Edge and Christian, this was great. This was probably the match of the show. In a triangle triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles, Edge and Christian against the Hardys, against the Dudley Boys. Again, in a triple threat triangle ladder match. First time ever, we had 3 teams in a ladder match. It was awesome. It was great. All 6 guys did damn good stuff. It was damn awesome. It was entertaining to watch. And my God, Jeff Hardy. Watch that match back, and the stuff Jeff Hardy did, I just shake my head because the guy was insane. The guy would beat his body up to shit. Same with Matt Hardy. At one point, Jeff does a 450 and misses one of the Dudleys on laying on the ladder, and Jeff hits a 450 on the ladder, and nobody was there. That looked like it really, really, really messed up his legs and knees. That was a brutal spot. And then Jeff, the guy does a swanton. Jeff Hardy does a swanton bomb off like the 20-foot ladder through the table, through Bubba Ray. That was insane. Because his ass, sat down. His ass hit the floor after the swanton. I'm surprised he didn't break his tailbone. That was insane. Edge and Christian win the tag titles. Or maybe they retained. Whatever, I don't remember. But they got the tag titles. I don't remember who the champions were going in. I think it was Edge and Christian. But they retained. Terry Runnels, yes, Terry Runnels, formerly Marlena. Terry Runnels defeats the Cat. It was not a match. It was stupid, but whatever. That's what they had the women do back in the year 2000. Just do bra and panties and wear thongs and wrestle in their underwear and have bikini matches, stuff like that. I will say one thing about the Cat. I thought she was really attractive. I thought she was really, really sexy, the Cat. So anyways, up next we had another tag team matchup, a 6-man tag. China and Too Cool defeated Eddie Guerrero, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, the Radicals. I believe Eddie hurt his elbow in February on SmackDown, dislocated his elbow or something. And I don't know how Eddie made it back for WrestleMania 16, but he did. I think he had like an arm break. He had like a giant elbow brace or to protect his elbow. Next, this was also good. I enjoyed this. A triple threat for the Intercontinental and European Championships that Kurt Angle held. Kurt Angle was a double champion. Chris Benoit defeated Chris Jericho and the Intercontinental Champion Kurt Angle to win the Intercontinental title. And then in the second fall for the European title, Jericho defeated Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle to win the European title. So poor Kurt Angle's WrestleMania debut, Jericho's WrestleMania debut, Chris Benoit's WrestleMania debut, 3 really just great talents, off the charts. Talents, Hall of Fame talents. Even though Chris Benoit will never, ever get in the Hall of Fame, and he never should. The guy's a murderer. Anyways, Kurt Angle in his WrestleMania debut loses both of his titles. That's pretty funny. So up next, we had another tag team matchup. Again, WrestleMania 16 should have been called Tag Team Mania. Kane and Rikishi, that's a weird team. I don't know why they teamed them up. But they took on X-Pac and Road Dogg at DX. DX 2000, or the new DX. Kane and Rikishi win. After the match, Pete Rose tried to attack Kane with a baseball bat, and he got chokeslammed. It was pretty damn funny. Now the main event for the WWF Championship, Triple H defending against The Rock, Mick Foley, and The Big Show, and there was a McMahon in every corner. Now Mick Foley lost a retirement match at No Way Out 2000, so he had to retire. He lost the Hell in a Cell against Triple H, and they had a great Hell in a Cell match. That was a great spot where Mick Foley was backdropped through the cell roof, fell through the ring, and they had a giant hole in the ring. That was a great spot. That was really well it looked awesome to watch that. And it was shocking. Anyways, they brought Mick Foley back out of retirement for WrestleMania 16, I guess, to get more buy rates, or who knows. But whatever. I wasn't upset that they brought Mick Foley back. Whatever. I believe he's eliminated first. And that was really sad. At least the crowd gave him like a standing ovation. So it comes down to The Rock and Triple H. Two just great rivals. They had a great feud in 98 and 2000. So Vince turns heel, or Shane turns on Vince, or something like that. Anyway, Stephanie gets in the ring and slaps a Rock, and she gets rock bottomed and the people's elbow. That was awesome. That got a huge pop, huge reaction. The Rock probably should have won, but I was okay with Triple H retaining. If you think about it, Triple H has a really bad win and loss record at WrestleManias. The guy's lost a lot at WrestleManias. So Triple H retains, but a month later at Backlash, he would lose, and that was the right decision. Because Stone Cold made his return and screwed Triple H. So again, WrestleMania 2000, I give it a grade of a B+. Because I really enjoyed the triple threat ladder match. I enjoyed Angle, Benoit, Jericho. I enjoyed the hardcore invitational battle royal. And I enjoyed the main event, the Fatal 4-Way. So WrestleMania 16 gets a B+. Too many tag team matches, but I really enjoyed 4 matches. So now let's go to WrestleMania 17. I apologize for my voice. Kind of stuffed up. I don't know if I'm getting a cold or what. WrestleMania 17, looked at by fans and remembered as one of the best. It was definitely maybe one of the best. I'm not sure. It's one of my favorites. Probably be in my top 5 favorites. But is WrestleMania 17 the best ever? I don't think so. But it's top 5. So this was at, again, the height of the Attitude Era, because they sold out the Houston Astrodome. WrestleMania 17 went down on April 1st, 2001. And 2001 was a history-making year in wrestling, and it was also pretty depressing that WWF bought their competition, WCW. Vince bought WCW. So, anyways, WrestleMania 17. Houston, Texas, the Astrodome. Up first to kick off the show was for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Jericho defeated William Regal to win the Intercontinental title, I believe. I think Regal was the champion. I think he was. I haven't watched WrestleMania. I haven't watched that match in like 15 years at least, maybe longer. So I don't remember who the champion was. Probably was Regal. I gotta watch TLC 2 and Stone Cold The Rock. I'm gonna watch that on the network pretty soon from WrestleMania 17. So next, 6-man tag. Bradshaw, Farouk, the APA, and Taz defeated Bo Buchanan, the Godfather, and Val Venus, a right to fucking censor. I hated that gimmick. I hated their theme music so much. I mean, they got a lot of heat. The right to censor was a heat magnet, but God, I hated them. So, yeah, Bradshaw pinned the Godfather. Up next, we had Kane, Raven, and the Big Show in a triple threat for the hardcore title. Kane defeated Raven and the Big Show to win the hardcore title. It was a decent match. It wasn't bad. They were fighting backstage for a while. Raven got thrown and tossed through a damn window. I hope, and I'm pretty sure it was fake glass, but it looked real. So Kane wins the hardcore title. That was kind of weird booking to put Kane in a hardcore title match, but I guess they had nothing else for him. So up next, Eddie Guerrero defeated European champion Test to win the title. I enjoyed that because I knew even in 2001 I wasn't a huge Eddie fan. I knew the guy was a great worker and deserved to be a champion. Kurt Angle defeated Chris Benoit. They had a great match. Really good. Really good, like pure wrestling, amateur wrestling, a ton of counters. It was good. Kurt Angle, Benoit, they had great matches together. Really good. China defeated Ivory for the women's title. I didn't care. I did not care. I mean, it was kind of stupid to make China women's champion because no other woman on the roster could really challenge or defeat her, in my opinion. And of course, China ended up leaving the company in the spring or right before summer 2001. So they just took, of course, they had to take the title off her, and it was vacated until Survivor Series. So up next, this was good. This was entertaining. First ever at WrestleMania's father versus son match. Shane McMahon defeated Vince McMahon in a street fight, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. The storyline was even good, where Shane said he just bought WCW, and Vince was shocked. Shane comes out to the ring at WrestleMania 17. He points up to, or gets on the mic, says, "What's up, WCW?" A couple WCW wrestlers were sitting in the skybox. And Booker T I don't think Booker T was up there. He might have been. But it was like jobbers. It was like WCW mid-carders that the WWF brought in. It was guys like Sean O'Hare, Mark Jindrak, Kidman, um, what's his name? Sean Stasiak. Guys like that. Those guys are, I'm sorry, no disrespect to them. They're better and tougher than I am because they made it in wrestling. I never tried to make it, but I thought about becoming a wrestler at one time. Anyway, the life is not for me. I wouldn't want to do all that traveling. I'm not tough enough. No pun intended to the TV show Tough Enough. But I'm not tough enough to be a pro wrestler. I will admit that. I'm happy being a fan. So, anyways, those guys are all mid carders except for Booker T. He was only main eventer in DDP that they brought in. And they really botched DDP's WWF debut. That was, I mean, yes, he worked with The Undertaker, but he just got his ass kicked and got squashed. I guess DDP was a tag champion in WWF, so whatever. And a European champion. So Vince and Shane have a really good street fight. Shane does coast to coast against a trash can that Vince was holding. And Shane does his elbow drop through the table off the top rope. This match had a lot of story built into it. And a good build up. Shane bought WCW. Trish Stratus was having an affair with Vince. She was at ringside pushing Linda McMahon in a wheelchair. Linda, who was drugged, I guess, by Vince or doctors. I just thought it was hilarious that Linda McMahon stands up. First, Trish turned on Vince and slapped him in the face, or I don't really remember. Maybe Stephanie slapped Trish. Stephanie and Trish, they were feuding. They didn't like each other. I think Trish slapped Vince. Linda stands up in the chair like she's no longer drugged. Gets in the ring, kicks Vince in the nuts. It was pretty damn funny. I thought it was hilarious. And Shane McMahon wins. Christian and Edge, this was great. Now, before, Kurt Angle Benoit was really good. And Shane Vince was really good, but TLC 2 was really damn good. TLC 2, Christian Edge defeated the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys. Great TLC match. It was better than the first TLC. It was damn good. It was insane. A lot of chair shots, a lot of tables broken. Spike Dudley got involved. It was his WrestleMania debut. Lita got involved because she was part of Team Extreme. And Rhino grew up with Edge and Christian in the wrestling business. Rhino even got involved. Just a great TLC tables, ladders, chairs, ladder match. Really good. So up next, this was damn entertaining. The Gimmick Battle Royal. I enjoyed this. The Gimmick Battle Royal, you had guys like, first off, they had Mean Gene return to the company. And he started working, I guess, part-time, maybe full-time, I don't know. But Mean Gene returned, and eventually, in 2002, he'd start doing the show Confidential. So Mean Gene returns. Bobby the Brain Heenan got to return. They were on commentary. It was great. Great to see them back in the family, in the company they helped build. The Gimmick Battle Royal was really entertaining. You had Doink the Clown return. You had the Goon, Earthquake, Tugboat. Who else? Sergeant Slaughter, Kamala, the One Man Gang, a ton of gimmicks. Iron Sheik, uh, Jim Cornette, Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard as Brother Love. I think that's everybody. I'm sure I meant Hillbilly Jim. He was in it. So the winner was the Iron Sheik. Yes, the Iron Sheik won. I guess he broke everyone's back and made them humble. I heard a rumor Iron Sheik won because he couldn't be thrown over the top rope because the guy would have got injured and probably broke his hip. So that's why they gave the win to the Iron Sheik. Nikolai Volkov, rest in peace. He was in there. A lot of guys from that, not everybody, but a couple guys from the Gimmick Battle Royal are no longer with us. Gobbledygooker was in there. Gobbledygooker got a big pop. That was funny. And Gobbledygooker actually had theme music. I forgot about that. So Iron Sheik eliminates Hillbilly Jim to win the Gimmick Battle Royal. Now the main event, or not the main event yet. Could have been a main event. The Undertaker defeats Triple H. Motorhead plays Triple H to the ring. That was pretty cool. Undertaker wins. They had a good match. It wasn't great, but it was good. And the Undertaker streak goes on. Main event. Stone Cold Steve Austin challenging The Rock for the WWF Championship again. It was in Texas, so Stone Cold got cheered like crazy. The Rock was cheered like crazy. The crowd was just electric on their feet for this. Really, just the crowd was going insane when they made their entrances. Really good main event. Really good match between Stone Cold and The Rock. Damn good. Really damn good. Still holds up to this day as a really good match to watch. It is not boring. Rock, either I think The Rock was busted open or Stone Cold. Maybe they both were. I don't really remember. But Stone Cold with the help. Again, Stone Cold was a babyface. Rock was like a babyface. Rock would not be really booed again. After the year 2000, the guy was not ever going to get booed again. No matter what he would do. The Rock was just so damn good and entertaining that he couldn't be booed anymore after 2000. So anyways, Stone Cold turns heel. I did not see that coming. Vince McMahon helps Stone Cold, hands him the chair. He beats the shit out of The Rock with it. Hits him like 10 times with chair shots. And Vince is smiling. Stone Cold pins The Rock for the victory. Wins the WWF title. Is staring at Vince McMahon and shakes his hand. Stone Cold makes a deal with the devil and turns heel. So it was like a double turn. Stone Cold, not a double turn, but Stone Cold came into it as a babyface. And he was still cheered when he pinned Rock and won. But when he shook Vince's hand, the crowd didn't know how to react. They did not. They were like shocked. And at the time, it was shocking. Stone Cold turning heel, joining Vince. I thought it would work. And they put Stone Cold with Triple H. And they were a pretty good team. They won all the titles. They won the tag titles. Triple H was the Intercontinental Champ. Stone Cold was WWF Champ and Tag Champ. They held all the titles until, sadly, Triple H tore his quad. On an episode of Raw in May 2001 against Benoit and Jericho for the tag titles. So at the time, WrestleMania 17, I thought the heel turn from Stone Cold might work. But like 1 or 2 months later, it was not working because the fans did not want to boo Stone Cold Steve Austin. They just did not. They didn't. Even though Stone Cold really tried to be a good heel. I thought he was a good heel. I thought he did a good job. He was still a heel by like SummerSlam 2001 against Kurt Angle and Unforgiven and No Mercy and Survivor Series. Stone Cold was still a heel. He aligned himself with the Alliance, WCW, ECW. So I guess Stone Cold, they even had him beat up good old JR and beat the crap out of JR on an episode of SmackDown in JR's hometown. Again, they tried badly, did everything. They did everything. They tried to get Stone Cold hated. So that was WrestleMania 17. Really good WrestleMania. Really, again, it's in my top 5. I don't know what I would put in my top 5. I don't know, like number 3, maybe, or 4, or 2. I don't know. So if I grade WrestleMania 17, I'd give it an A plus because of Stone Cold, The Rock, TLC 2, Benoit and Angle, Vince and Shane. Those are damn the gimmick battle royal. That's 5 really damn entertaining good matches. Gimmick battle royal wasn't a good match, but so what? It was entertaining. The Hardcore Championship, Triple Threat, that was even good. WrestleMania 18, a really good WrestleMania once again. 17 was really good. 18 was really good too. So WrestleMania 18 took place March 17th, 2002 from Toronto, Canada. In the next 5 years, WrestleMania really needs to go back to Canada or the UK. They really need to go to London or Wembley Stadium. They really need to go to UK for WrestleMania in the next 5 years, or Canada again. If it started, let's say it started, I don't know, late afternoon in the UK. So let's say it started like 10, 11, 9 a.m. Or I don't know, noon in America, or 10 a.m. I would wake up to watch if it was in the UK or London. So WrestleMania 18 kicked off with a pretty good match for the Intercontinental title. RVD, Rob Van Dam. I should do both hands. I was holding a book, but Rob Van Dam, RVD, Mr. Pay-Per-View, Mr. Monday Night. RVD back in 2001, 2000, 99. The guy is one of my favorite wrestlers. Even 2002, RVD, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The guy was awesome, especially in ECW. The guy was out of this world good. Nobody, in my opinion, could outperform RVD from like 97 to like 2003. So RVD. Again, the guy in his prime, ECW in his early WWF run, nobody could touch him. The guy was that good. The only other guy that could touch him was probably Kurt Angle or Stone Cold or The Rock. So RVD defeats William Regal to win the Intercontinental Championship. RVD got a huge pop for winning the Intercontinental title. I was really happy because I was RVD mark. Still am. Up next, the European Championship. European champion Diamond Dallas Page defeated Christian. They had a decent match. It wasn't bad. Up next, we had Spike Dudley defeat the Hardcore champion Maven. During Maven's match with Goldust, I guess Goldust won the title, and then the title would go from Spike Dudley backstage the entire pay-per-view. Spike Dudley would lose it to the Hurricane, and then lose it to Mighty Molly Holly, and then Molly Holly would lose it to Christian. And then backstage, Maven would win the title and leave in a car, I believe. Poor Maven. That guy won Tough Enough. He wasn't in wrestling that long, like 1 or 2 years in WWF. Or maybe 3-4 years. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I don't think Maven loved the business. Maybe he did. I don't know. I believe the guy did or quit wrestling. I don't know. Take care of a family member. I think I heard that. So maybe he did love the business. I don't know. So I'm next with Kane. Kurt Angle defeated Kane. They had a pretty good match. Kane, a really good big man when he was younger and more agile. The guy could go with anybody. Kane was really good from like 97 to like 2006, 5. Kane was still really good. So up next we had The Undertaker with his streak on the line defeat Ric Flair. They had a great match. I believe it was no DQ street fight rules. Really good. Of course, Flair bumped his head and started bleeding. I'm just kidding. He didn't bump his head. He got busted open. I believe he got hit with a pipe by The Undertaker or something. But Taker and Ric Flair, they tore it up. They had a great match. And The Undertaker's streak would go on. And this was WrestleMania 18. It would go on until 30. Edge defeated Booker T. I felt bad for these two guys that the company really had nothing else for them. But Edge defeated Booker T. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated the NWO Scott Hall. It was okay. Could have been better. Should have been better. I would have liked to see instead, like, I don't know, Stone Cold against Hogan or something like that, or Stone Cold against Kevin Nash, because Kevin Nash did not even get a match at WrestleMania 18. So Stone Cold defeats Scott Hall, and what I remember about it is Scott Hall took one of the best stunners and sold it like crazy, jumped up in the air. So I'm next. We have the Tag Team Championship. Billy and Chuck. The Tag Team Champions, Billy Gunn, Chuck Palumbo, Billy and Chuck, defeated the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, and Bradshaw and Farouk in a fatal 4-way elimination match. So Billy and Chuck retained the tag titles. Up next, we had, I don't know if these are in order, these matches, but whatever. Women's Championship, Jazz defeated Trish Stratus and Lita in a triple threat. It wasn't bad. It was good enough. I enjoyed it. Trish got a huge pop, of course, because she's from Toronto. So up next, The Rock, the great one, take on Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Icon versus Icon. It was damn good. It was so fun to watch. That match still holds up. It is damn fun to watch. The crowd just right away, when they locked up and Hogan pushed The Rock back, the crowd immediately turned on The Rock and started cheering Hogan like he was a babyface. And he was Hollywood Hogan. He was supposed to be hated for what he did to The Rock. He hit him with a hammer on Raw and ran a damn semi-truck into the ambulance The Rock was in, almost tried to murder him. But the crowd didn't care. Toronto absolutely turned Hogan babyface. They didn't want to see Hollywood Hogan. And the next night on Raw, he would rip the NWO shirt off and then go to the back to the red and yellow. So, again, The Rock and Hulk Hogan had a classic WrestleMania match. One of the best of all time. Rock defeated Hulk Hogan. I was cheering for Hogan to win, but I didn't really expect him to win. So now the main event, Triple H. Not a good main event. The crowd was blown up. The real main event, in my opinion, was Rock Hogan. The crowd was tired, blown up. They didn't care. I believe this WrestleMania 18, I think, was close to 4 hours. So, yeah, I wish WrestleMania 35 would be 4 hours. But no, it's going to have to be like 7. I'll watch WrestleMania 35. I'll watch all 7 hours. But if it's like over 8 hours, that's too much for me. Over 8 hours of wrestling, that is too much for even me. And I am I'm one of the most passionate hardcore fans there is. But 8 hours of wrestling is too damn much. Please don't make it 8 hours. Maybe 7.5. Hopefully I won't be asleep by the time it's over. It better not end at like midnight, because that's just too damn long. If it ends at 10 or 11, I'm okay with that. But midnight, that's way too long. Because for me, my time, Central Time Zone, the pre-show is going to start at 4 p.m. And it better not go to midnight, because I'll be watching from 4 p.m. It better not go till midnight. And for the UK, everybody in the UK, I feel bad for you, because you're probably going to be up till 8 in the morning, or 7, or 6:50, or something like that. Main event it wasn't Jericho's fault, it wasn't Triple H's fault. But the focus of the match the story was too much focused on Triple H and Stephanie. And Triple H getting payback on Stephanie. It was like Jericho wasn't even in the damn match, in my opinion. And Jericho was the undisputed champion. But nobody cared. I don't think anybody cared. Triple H pedigree Stephanie. That was cool to see. And Triple H wins the undisputed title. I didn't really care at the time. I guess I was happy, but I didn't really care. I just wanted the show to end. So, WrestleMania 18, they have a video package after it with Saliva, the band, playing a song for the video package. It's a great end video package. Really well put together, really cool. Really good mix with the music and the video package. It just fit perfectly. Mostly, like 100% of the time, rock music or hard rock and wrestling video packages always fit and go well together. So if I grade WrestleMania 18, you had The Rock Hogan. That was great. You had Stone Cold Scott Hall. It was good. What else? RVD winning. That was great. So you probably had 4 matches I cared for. So WrestleMania 18, I would give, For Hogan Rock, I'll give it an A minus. A minus. Hope you enjoyed. This is my final video in my WrestleMania Rewind series. I did WrestleMania 1 all the way to WrestleMania 18. Hope you enjoyed my WrestleMania Rewind series. Officially, because it's Sunday night, WrestleMania is 2 weeks away. I'm excited, but tomorrow on Raw, you better change Kurt Angle's opponent to John Cena. You better do that, because nobody... Actually, I don't really care what anybody else wants. I don't care if anybody wants Corbin, Angle. I want Kurt Angle to face John Cena, or The Undertaker, or anybody else but Corbin. WWE, you gotta fix this. You gotta fix it. Do the right thing for the fans and for Kurt Angle. The guy deserves a farewell match with a worthy opponent he has history with. I don't care if him and Corbin had a feud. I don't want to see Corbin Angle. I do not want to see it. I don't. No way. If Angle Corbin costed 1 penny, I wouldn't pay 1 penny to see that. Or 1 cent. Hope you enjoy my WrestleMania Rewind series. My next videos will be tomorrow night, Raw reactions. We're on the road to WrestleMania 35. Have a great Sunday night. Have a great Monday. Bye for now.